Imagine a state of mind where challenges no longer shake you, where you move through life with calm, composure, and clarity. What if you could rise above daily frustrations, detach from the constant pull of desires, and experience true freedom? Stoicism, an ancient philosophy rooted in the teachings of thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, offers a path to this inner peace. Stoicism isn't about emotionless endurance. Rather, it's a guide to mastering the art of response, learning to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot, and cultivating virtues that lead to a fulfilling life. In this journey, we'll explore 10 practical lessons from Stoicism designed to keep you calm in the face of life's turbulence. These lessons delve into the value of living in the present, accepting life's uncontrollable events, embracing gratitude, and more. Each lesson is a step on the path to serenity, a blueprint that reminds us that peace is an inner state crafted by our thoughts and actions. By the end of these 10 lessons, you'll understand how Stoicism's ancient wisdom can transform modern challenges. The final lesson ties together these principles, leading us to a profound realization about self-care, both of mind and body. So, shall we embark on this journey? Stay with me to the end, where the most powerful insights await. 1. Live in the present. What does it mean to live in the present? In a world of distractions, it's easy to get lost in regret over the past or anxieties about the future. Yet Stoicism teaches us that peace lies here, in this very moment. You don't perceive reality as it is, Marcus Aurelius reminds us, but as you are. Stoicism encourages us to cultivate awareness of the now, to fully experience our lives without allowing them to be clouded by what was or what might be. Living in the present is a challenge many of us face. But why? Perhaps we fear that if we let go of our past or future concerns, we'll lose control. However, Stoicism argues the opposite. When we release this grasp, we gain freedom. Are you truly experiencing life as it unfolds, or are you weighed down by memories and worries? What value lies in ruminating on what's past or speculating about what's uncertain? Stoicism guides us to find peace in today, to focus on the sensations, the interactions, and the actions of this moment, because this is where our life truly exists. Practicing mindfulness is one effective way to live in the present, allowing us to cultivate that state of awareness Stoicism values. Consider dedicating just 5 minutes a day to observing your thoughts and surroundings without judgment. This simple practice can anchor you in the present, sharpening your awareness of the here and now. Pay attention to your breathing, the sensations in your body, and the sounds around you. By focusing on these details, you create a quiet space in your mind where calm and clarity can flourish. Stoicism also teaches us to avoid multitasking, a common enemy of living in the moment. When we do too much at once, we divide our attention, which fragments our experience and sows stress. Can you think of times when multitasking has left you feeling drained or unfulfilled? What would happen if instead you gave each task your full attention? Practice doing one thing at a time. Whether you're working, talking to a friend, or even doing something as simple as eating a meal, try to immerse yourself fully in the experience. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring future goals or disregarding lessons from the past. Stoicism values prudence and learning, but it teaches us to hold these things lightly, never allowing them to overshadow the richness of now. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, confine yourself to the present. Take life moment by moment, focusing on what you can do today rather than worrying about tomorrow. When you feel stress rising, pause and ask yourself, where am I? What am I doing right now? This question can pull you back to the present, where your power truly lies. The more we practice living in the present, the more we realize that calm isn't somewhere in the future, nor does it belong to some idealized past. It exists here, in our choice to be mindful of each moment, to let go of regrets and worries, and to embrace life as it unfolds. This is the first lesson of Stoicism, and a foundational one, because all other lessons build upon this awareness of the present. Stay tuned as we move to the next lesson, where we'll explore the art of accepting what we cannot change. In this acceptance lies profound freedom and resilience. 2. Accept what you cannot change. How often do we struggle against the reality of things beyond our control? Stoicism teaches us that suffering often arises not from external events themselves, but from our judgments about them. It's not the facts that disturb men, Epictetus tells us, but their judgment of the facts. By learning to accept what we cannot change, we can redirect our energy toward what truly matters and find peace amidst life's inevitable challenges. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity or resignation. It's about focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, responses, and actions, while letting go of what we cannot. How much of your daily stress comes from trying to control outcomes, people, or situations that are ultimately beyond your influence? Stoicism reminds us that peace lies in discerning this crucial difference, in realizing that our response to life is our own, even if life's circumstances are not. To put this principle into practice, begin by observing your reactions to situations that frustrate you. Do you find yourself wishing things were different? Do you attempt to change others' opinions or actions? Notice these impulses without judgment, and then gently remind yourself that you have control only over your own choices. Stoicism encourages us to free ourselves from futile pursuits by embracing the natural flow of events. In doing so, we find clarity and release from unnecessary tension. Consider an everyday example, such as the weather. It's common to feel annoyed by rain on a day you plan to go out. But can your frustration make the sun shine? Can it alter the course of nature? No. So why expend precious energy wishing for something beyond your influence? Instead, you might prepare an umbrella and choose to enjoy the day as it is, finding beauty in the rain's rhythm and scent. By adapting your expectations to reality, you free yourself from needless disappointment. Another powerful practice for embracing this lesson is to examine your thoughts with what modern Stoics often call the serenity prayer. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This perspective can reshape our understanding of peace. It allows us to look at every challenge, every unchangeable fact, and every aspect of life we cannot alter as opportunities to exercise our strength of mind. Imagine applying this perspective to larger areas of life. In relationships, for example, there are aspects of others we cannot control, such as their preferences, habits, or decisions. But we can always choose our response. How often do conflicts arise because we expect others to act a certain way? Stoicism advises us to release these expectations and accept people as they are, focusing instead on how we communicate and relate with them calmly and kindly. By doing so, we allow ourselves to engage in relationships with greater understanding and peace. This principle of accepting what we cannot change also applies to our past. Many of us carry regrets or what-if scenarios, rehashing mistakes, or wishing we had acted differently. Yet no amount of thought can rewrite history. The Stoic approach is to embrace what has been and to see each past moment as a stepping stone toward the present. We can learn from the past, but we should never let it imprison us. Can you forgive yourself for past missteps? Can you see them as essential lessons that have brought you to who you are today? Acceptance is ultimately a form of liberation, a recognition that we are not responsible for the world's every turn, but we are entirely responsible for how we move within it. Each time we let go of resistance to what is, we create space for calm and resilience to flourish. We are no longer at odds with reality. Instead, we flow with it, ready to meet life's changes with courage and serenity. As we move into the next lesson, we'll explore how practicing gratitude can further deepen this sense of acceptance, anchoring us in an appreciation for what we have, rather than a constant desire for what we lack. In gratitude, Stoicism finds a powerful tool for calm and contentment. 3. Practice gratitude. Gratitude, according to Stoicism, is more than a fleeting feeling. It's a deliberate practice, an essential perspective that anchors us in the present and reminds us of life's true abundance. Stoicism teaches that by focusing on what we have, rather than what we lack, we can free ourselves from the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. But how can we make gratitude an integral part of our lives? The Stoics believed that wealth and contentment are found in appreciating the present moment and everything it offers. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours." In essence, he's asking us to pause and consider, what blessings do we already hold? Would we not deeply miss these things if they were gone? One way to start incorporating gratitude into your daily life is to keep a gratitude journal. Each day, take a moment to write down 3 things you're grateful for, however small they may seem. Perhaps it's a good conversation you had, a meal you enjoyed, or simply a peaceful moment of quiet. With each entry, you train your mind to notice what is good and present in your life. Over time, this practice builds a mindset of contentment and abundance, reducing the mind's tendency to focus on what is missing or out of reach. Practicing gratitude also involves letting go of the need for everything to align perfectly with our desires. How often do we find ourselves restless, wanting things to be different, or wishing for something more? Yet, Stoicism teaches us that true peace lies not in bending life to our will, but in embracing life as it is. When we learn to appreciate life's simple pleasures and view each day with gratitude, we find that much of our discontent fades away. Ask yourself, is it the world that needs to change, or is it my perspective? To cultivate this perspective further, consider the power of daily affirmations of gratitude. This doesn't mean overlooking life's challenges or pretending that everything is ideal. Rather, it's an invitation to look beyond difficulties and find something good amidst them. The Stoics believed that even adversity has its gifts, for it strengthens our character, teaches resilience, and reminds us of our inner strength. Can you think of a difficult time in your life that ultimately taught you something valuable? By reframing our struggles in this way, we discover reasons for gratitude even in hardship. Another Stoic practice to deepen gratitude is negative visualization, or imagining life without certain comforts or loved ones. This is not meant to cultivate fear or sorrow, but rather to sharpen our appreciation. Picture your life without a close friend, your health, or the small conveniences that make your day smoother. How does this shift your perspective? This practice allows us to value what we often take for granted, seeing our lives with fresh eyes and renewed thankfulness. Each day becomes a gift, filled with experiences and people that we might otherwise overlook. Gratitude in Stoicism is also about recognizing the interconnectedness of life. We're all supported by others in ways we might not always notice. From the food on our tables to the homes we live in, much of what we enjoy is thanks to the work and care of others. When we acknowledge this interconnected web, we cultivate a humility that brings peace. Gratitude reminds us that we're part of something larger, and this recognition can quiet the restless ego, helping us embrace life as it is with serenity. And how does gratitude affect our relationships? When we approach others with a grateful heart, we're more likely to express appreciation and kindness, strengthening our bonds and fostering trust. Imagine telling a friend or family member why you're grateful for them. Imagine noticing the small things they do and expressing your thanks. How would this affect the way you feel and the way they feel? Stoicism teaches us that gratitude, when shared, multiplies, creating harmony and deepening our sense of connection. As we make gratitude a daily practice, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life, letting go of the desire for more and embracing what we already have. This gratitude brings calm because it reminds us that we are, in many ways, already complete. The desire for excess fades, replaced by a quiet appreciation for what is. In the next lesson, we'll build upon this foundation by exploring the importance of removing negative influences from our lives. Gratitude and peace flourish best in an environment free of negativity, and Stoicism guides us in creating that space. 4. Distance from negative influences. Imagine your mind as a garden. Every thought, every emotion, and every person you allow into your life acts as a seed. Some seeds nourish the soil, encouraging calm and growth. Others deplete it, fostering weeds of negativity and discontent. Stoicism encourages us to be selective about the influences we allow, especially those who bring negativity or stir complaints, for such influences often cloud our minds and disrupt our peace. The Stoics believed that our inner peace is precious and must be guarded carefully. How often do we allow ourselves to be affected by the moods, criticisms, or toxic attitudes of others? Marcus Aurelius advised, "We ought to keep the mind calm and clear as we do the body, for both are apt to suffer from those with whom they come into contact." The question, then, is not just whom we spend time with, but how we let their energy influence our own. To distance oneself from negative influences doesn't necessarily mean cutting people out of your life. It means creating boundaries. If you find yourself in the company of someone whose conversations are constantly draining, can you redirect the topic? Can you limit your exposure or consciously choose to disengage from the negativity? Stoicism suggests that by creating boundaries, we protect our tranquility, allowing us to focus on what truly matters and maintain a mindset of calm. Another way to distance yourself from negativity is by reducing your exposure to sources that consistently provoke distress, such as certain media or online content. In today's world, we're bombarded by an endless stream of information, much of it designed to stir up strong emotions. Ask yourself, does this content help me grow? Or does it cultivate fear, anger, or resentment? By choosing to focus on uplifting and balanced perspectives, we can foster a sense of calm and clarity. The people we spend the most time with have a profound impact on our lives. If you surround yourself with those who complain, criticize, or constantly speak of what they lack, you may find yourself adopting similar attitudes. Conversely, if you seek the company of those who encourage, appreciate, and focus on growth, you'll notice a shift in your own outlook. Can you think of someone in your life who brings positivity and strength to your day? How can you spend more time with them? Distancing from negative influences isn't about judgment. It's about prioritizing our mental and emotional health. When we set boundaries with compassion, we not only protect our peace, but also set an example for others. Remember, as the Stoics did, that peace is often a choice, shaped by the company we keep and the energy we welcome. With a clearer, calmer mind, we can now move to the next lesson. Embrace challenges as opportunities, where Stoicism teaches us to view obstacles as pathways to growth. 5. Embrace challenges as opportunities. The Stoics often spoke of adversity as a teacher. They believed that each challenge we face is an opportunity to grow, a chance to cultivate resilience and strength. As Seneca wisely observed, Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Stoicism encourages us to adopt this perspective, to see each obstacle as a tool that sharpens our character and prepares us for whatever life may bring. But how does one start viewing challenges as opportunities? It begins with reframing our perception. When faced with hardship, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" consider asking, "What can I learn from this? How might this experience make me stronger, wiser, or more compassionate?" This shift in perspective, while subtle, is powerful. It allows us to find meaning in our struggles and discover strengths we may not have realized we possess. Embracing challenges also means developing resilience, the capacity to endure without losing our calm. Stoicism teaches us that by accepting the reality of hardship, we are better prepared to face it with composure. Instead of denying or avoiding difficulties, we meet them head-on, knowing that each test strengthens our inner resolve. Imagine the difference between a tree rooted deeply and a tree that bends easily to the wind. Which one stands strong through storms? Stoicism teaches us to root ourselves in resilience, bending when needed, but never breaking. Another practice the Stoics recommend is to adopt a growth mindset. Modern psychology aligns with this Stoic idea, suggesting that people with a growth-oriented mindset see failures as opportunities to improve, not as judgments of their worth. When you face a setback, ask yourself, "How can I use this to become better? What part of myself is being refined?" In adversity, we find our true potential. Stoicism doesn't deny the pain that often accompanies challenges. Instead, it teaches us to accept discomfort as part of the human experience and as a source of strength. We grow through trials, and each challenge shapes us. If we avoid discomfort at all costs, we miss the opportunity to grow. Can you recall a time when a difficult situation revealed something positive in you? Perhaps courage, patience, or endurance. Embracing challenges means valuing these qualities and recognizing that each hardship has something to teach us. With this approach to challenges, we transition into the next Stoic principle, practicing detachment, which helps us cultivate inner peace by releasing our attachment to outcomes and material possessions. 6. Practice detachment. Detachment in Stoicism is the art of letting go of possessions, desires, and the need for external validation. It's not about renouncing joy or pleasure, but rather about not allowing your peace to hinge upon them. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Through detachment, Stoicism offers a path to inner freedom, where we find calm within ourselves rather than in fleeting externalities. But what does practicing detachment look like in daily life? It begins with recognizing how much of our happiness depends on things outside ourselves. Reflect on this. Are there desires that, if unfulfilled, lead to disappointment or frustration? Are there possessions you feel define your worth or identity? Stoicism teaches that true contentment arises when we release these dependencies, when we focus instead on developing virtues that reside within us. One way to practice detachment is through voluntary simplicity, intentionally reducing our reliance on material possessions. This doesn't mean abandoning comforts altogether, but it does mean learning to value experiences, relationships, and growth over material accumulation. Consider taking time to evaluate your possessions. Which items do you truly need, and which serve only to distract? By simplifying our lives, we find that peace arises naturally, no longer cluttered by desires for more. Detachment also extends to our relationships and interactions. Stoicism reminds us that we cannot control others' actions, only our responses. When we place our happiness in the hands of others, seeking their approval, agreement, or validation, we give away our inner peace. Detachment teaches us to maintain compassion without attachment, allowing us to respond to others with kindness without becoming dependent on their reactions. Can you recall a time when someone's opinion affected you deeply? What might happen if you detached your self-worth from others' judgments? Practicing detachment isn't about rejecting pleasure or experiences, but rather about experiencing life with freedom. We enjoy what is present without fearing its loss, because our peace does not depend on it. Imagine taking a walk in nature, appreciating its beauty without needing to possess it. The Stoic view is that life is best lived with gratitude for what we have, but without clinging. In this way, we find freedom from worry and calm in simplicity. As we journey further into Stoicism's teachings, we arrive at a lesson on continual learning and growth. This principle reminds us that the path to peace and wisdom is lifelong, filled with opportunities to refine our character and deepen our understanding. 7. Continual learning and growth. In the Stoic view, life itself is a classroom, and each day presents new opportunities for growth and wisdom. Stoicism emphasizes that the path to virtue and peace is not a one-time achievement, but a continuous journey. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if thou wilt ever dig." This concept of perpetual self-improvement teaches us that every experience, whether joyful or challenging, holds something valuable to learn. But how can we incorporate this principle of continual learning into our daily lives? Start by embracing each day with curiosity and openness. When you encounter a new situation or a difficult emotion, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience contribute to my growth? Stoicism suggests that we don't view challenges as obstacles, but rather as material for our self-development. Each hardship strengthens our character, teaching us patience, resilience, or empathy. Reflecting on these lessons can transform even the smallest moments into steps toward wisdom. Another practice for continual growth is to cultivate the habit of daily self-reflection. Many Stoics, including Seneca, believed that the end of each day was an ideal time to review one's actions and thoughts. Ask yourself, how did I respond to today's events? Were there moments when I allowed anger, pride, or impatience to disrupt my calm? By examining our day-to-day behavior, we become more aware of areas where we can improve. This reflective practice isn't about judging ourselves harshly. Instead, it's a gentle, consistent effort to be better than we were yesterday. The Stoics also advocated for lifelong learning through reading and study. Philosophy, history, and literature can all serve as sources of insight, reminding us of universal truths and timeless wisdom. Marcus Aurelius often referred to the works of those who came before him, recognizing that studying the thoughts and ideas of others could expand his own understanding. In the same way, we can nourish our minds by exploring works that challenge our perspectives and inspire us. What books have shaped your understanding of life? Have they helped you develop resilience, compassion, or wisdom? Continual growth also involves humility, acknowledging that we are always learners, no matter our age or experience. Stoicism warns against the complacency of believing we have all the answers. Each day, we are invited to refine our character, to become more just, wise, and courageous. Can you think of a recent experience that humbled you? Did it teach you something unexpected? By remaining open to learning, we honor the Stoic path of virtue and create a foundation of calm and balance. With this dedication to growth, we naturally transition to the next lesson. Practice empathy. In understanding others, we deepen our capacity for calm and cultivate harmony in our relationships. 8. Practice empathy. Life is interpretation, the Stoics often remind us. Our judgments of others are just that, interpretations, influenced by our own experiences and perspectives. Practicing empathy is a fundamental Stoic principle that helps us see beyond our initial reactions and approach others with compassion and understanding. Empathy isn't just about kindness. It's about recognizing the humanity in each person, understanding that everyone faces their own set of challenges and struggles. When we cultivate empathy, we build stronger relationships and a deeper sense of inner peace. Stoicism teaches us to pause and consider what others might be going through before reacting or passing judgment. Ask yourself, how often do I jump to conclusions about someone else's behavior? Do I consider their perspective, or am I focused solely on my own? Empathy invites us to put ourselves in others' shoes, to imagine their challenges and concerns, and to respond with patience rather than frustration. One way to practice empathy is through mindful listening. When someone shares their thoughts or emotions, focus on listening without formulating a response or judgment. Truly absorb their words and observe their tone, expressions, and emotions. This approach, guided by Stoicism, allows us to understand their perspective more fully and respond in a way that respects their experience. Mindful listening fosters connection, reduces misunderstandings, and brings harmony to our interactions. Empathy also requires that we examine our assumptions. Stoicism encourages us to question the initial judgments we make about others, recognizing that they may be influenced by our own biases or limited information. For example, if a friend seems distant, it's easy to assume they're upset with us. But what if they're dealing with a personal struggle? Stoicism teaches us to approach situations with curiosity rather than assumptions, giving others the benefit of the doubt. Can you recall a time when you misinterpreted someone's actions? How might empathy have shifted your response? Practicing empathy doesn't mean suppressing your own needs or becoming overly involved in others' lives. Instead, it's about balancing understanding with healthy boundaries. We offer support and kindness, but we also recognize that others are responsible for their own choices and emotions. Empathy in Stoicism is a two-way path. It deepens our connection to others while preserving our own sense of calm and autonomy. Empathy creates harmony in our relationships and encourages us to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. This harmony is essential as we move into the next Stoic lesson, maintaining physical and mental health. Here, we see that true inner calm extends beyond the mind, encompassing the well-being of the entire self. 9. Maintain physical and mental health. Stoicism holds that the mind and body are interconnected, each influencing the other in profound ways. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Yet he also emphasized that a healthy mind is best maintained within a healthy body. Stoicism encourages us to care for both, recognizing that physical and mental well-being are essential to a calm and balanced life. Taking care of the body isn't about vanity or striving for perfection. It's about building a foundation for resilience. Regular exercise, a nutritious diet, and sufficient rest all support mental clarity, emotional stability, and inner strength. Reflect for a moment. How does your physical state affect your mood and focus? When we neglect our physical health, our mind often bears the strain, becoming more susceptible to stress and distraction. Stoicism teaches that by tending to the body, we create an environment in which the mind can thrive. One practical way to maintain this balance is through a consistent routine. Consider developing a daily schedule that includes time for movement, nourishing meals, and rest. Whether it's a morning walk, an evening stretch, or simply getting outside for fresh air, these habits reinforce the Stoic principle of discipline. As Epictetus observed, "No great thing is created suddenly. Small, consistent actions build resilience, providing the strength needed to face life's challenges with calm. Mental health, too, is central to Stoic philosophy. Stoicism encourages practices like meditation, mindfulness, and journaling as ways to cultivate a clear and focused mind. Taking a few moments each day to reflect on your thoughts, to breathe deeply, or to write down your reflections allows you to observe your mind without judgment. Have you tried such practices? How did they affect your sense of calm and awareness? These small habits can create space in your mind, enabling you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Stoicism also acknowledges the importance of setting boundaries to protect mental well-being. This includes knowing when to step back from stressors, taking time to recharge, and surrounding oneself with supportive people. How often do you allow yourself moments of rest and self-care? Are you conscious of the energy you give and receive in your relationships? Maintaining mental health involves recognizing your own needs and respecting them so you can approach life's demands with resilience and balance. When mind and body are in harmony, we are better equipped to practice the Stoic virtues of temperance, wisdom, courage, and justice. With this foundation, we create a life that is not only balanced, but also deeply satisfying. As we conclude this journey, remember that true calm is cultivated through intentional choices in every aspect of life. In our final lesson, we'll tie all these insights together as we explore self-care, a core Stoic practice that encompasses both the mind and body, guiding us to live fully and harmoniously. 10. Practice self-care. Self-care is not a modern invention. It is, in fact, rooted in ancient Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that taking care of the self was essential for a balanced, virtuous life. Self-care in Stoicism is about nourishing both body and mind, so they may work in harmony to support a life of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. As Marcus Aurelius taught, the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. To think clearly and live purposefully, we must care deeply for ourselves. But what does self-care mean in the Stoic sense? It's about maintaining both mental and physical health, prioritizing practices that strengthen our inner calm and resilience. In Stoicism, self-care is more than indulging in comforts. It's about building a foundation that allows us to approach life with strength and clarity. Imagine your mind and body as partners on the path to a virtuous life. If either is neglected, the other will struggle. How often do you think of self-care as essential rather than optional? Caring for your body is a fundamental part of Stoic self-care. Exercise, nutritious food, and restful sleep all contribute to the stability and clarity of the mind. As Epictetus suggested, there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Physical health supports this discipline of mind, helping us to withstand life's challenges with resilience. When our bodies are well, our minds are stronger, and our responses become more deliberate and calm. Mental self-care, equally important, includes practices that calm the mind and focus our thoughts. Many Stoics found solace and clarity in daily meditation, journaling, and reflection. Marcus Aurelius often wrote in his journals as a way to ground himself and clarify his thoughts. Consider setting aside a few minutes each day to sit in silence or write down reflections on your thoughts and actions. What insights might this bring? How would it affect your outlook on the day ahead? These practices are a form of mental housekeeping, clearing away stress and inviting calm. Setting boundaries is also a key element of Stoic self-care. In order to care for ourselves, we must be mindful of where our energy goes and who we allow to influence our state of mind. Self-care requires saying no when necessary, understanding that our peace is a priority. By establishing healthy boundaries, we protect our inner calm, allowing us to focus on what truly matters. Think of a time when setting a boundary allowed you to preserve your energy and focus. How did it feel to choose your well-being over external pressures? Self-care in Stoicism is about maintaining balance. It's about recognizing our needs and nurturing ourselves so we can respond to life with wisdom and strength. This care allows us to embody the Stoic virtues, facing each day with a steady mind and a healthy body. As we conclude this journey through Stoic principles, remember that each lesson is a tool to cultivate calm and clarity, guiding us toward a life of inner peace. As we bring these 10 Stoic lessons to a close, let's reflect on the journey we've undertaken. We've explored the importance of living in the present, accepting what we cannot change, practicing gratitude, and distancing ourselves from negativity. We've learned to see challenges as opportunities, to practice detachment, to engage in continual growth, and to cultivate empathy. We've examined the profound connection between mind and body, and finally, we've embraced the essential practice of self-care. Each lesson is a piece of the puzzle that, when put together, creates a roadmap to inner calm. Stoicism teaches us that peace isn't something we acquire through external achievements or possessions. It's something we cultivate within. These teachings remind us that by focusing on what we can control, letting go of what we cannot, and nurturing ourselves with care and intention, we create a life of resilience, wisdom, and tranquility. So, as you reflect on these principles, I encourage you to consider how you might apply them to your own life. Perhaps start by choosing 1 or 2 lessons to focus on and gradually integrate them into your daily routine. Remember that Stoicism is a lifelong journey, a path we walk every day, one small step at a time. If you found value in these Stoic insights, I invite you to join this journey of growth and self-improvement. Leave a comment below sharing which lesson resonated with you most, or let us know how you plan to incorporate Stoicism into your life. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more wisdom, and share it with others who may benefit from these teachings. Thank you for joining me in exploring these timeless principles of Stoicism. May you find peace, strength, and clarity on your own Stoic path.